Back to the action. We are here inside the Caloocan Sports Complex. This is your ASEAN Basketball League Season number 9 live on SNA. The matchup between San Miguel Alab Pilipinas and the visiting Singapore Slingers. The crowd here enjoying some Christmas treat here inside our venue, Caloocan Sports Complex in Manila, Philippines. Once again, thank you so much for catching the action here on ABL 9. And after the first again, entering the second frame, it's San Miguel Alab Pilipinas with a 4-point advantage, 22-18. You guys still have Martin Javier, Christian Luanzon, and for Sydney Crespo at courtside. Quick steal right away to start the second quarter for Josh Orbistondo. The fireball in for the first time for Coach Jimmy Alapag. That's a turnover
once
for
again.
Alab Pilipinas. And first quarter field goals, Christian, Alab shooting very well. 50%, 33% for Singapore. Although, Singapore actually shot 8 more shots in the first frame.
That's because Alab, 10 of their 22 came from inside the paint. But Singapore, not doing too bad themselves as they had 14 points. But turnovers also. Singapore had 4 turnovers in that first half, and both teams starting it off with a turnover.
And Christian, we've been playing a fast pace here so far in the first quarter. Who favors this pace more, Alab or Singapore? This fast-paced game we are playing right now.
I think both teams can play at a quick pace, but I think Singapore has to have a better effort again to play ahead of the defense, just to take Ramos out of the picture, especially with Bachman in foul trouble. I think it's going to be key for them, especially in this stretch with Bachman on the bench.
That's right.
To try to take the lead, try to create some breathing room when Bachman comes in about that 6-minute mark. He doesn't rest that much.
That's right, he doesn't.
I don't think he gets tired. He played 15 minutes in the second game in Indonesia.
That's
50
right.
minutes!
50 minutes. And went to overtime, by the way, with Alab Pilipinas winning it by 8. And Bachman getting a second personal foul earlier with about 5 minutes remaining in the first. That's going to be a foul against Brandon Rosser as he was trying to defend Delvin Go on that rebound play. So Rosser gets his first personal. About over a minute gone here in the second frame.
Jaron Young has been struggling so far, 0 for 5 to start the game.
Here's Young double team.
Oh my
up
goodness.
A wild one.
Just
able
about
to get it in. Wow.
Just about when we said he was struggling, his first made shot behind the backboard.
That almost always happens, Christian. Look at this move by Jaron Young. Putting it up while falling down, plus the foul.
And
able to put it in.
And as if it was not enough, it was a 2+1, mind you.
That was a la Dwayne Wade move by
Jaron
Young there.
Right.
Yeah. From the baseline, right? And now he'll go to the free throw line. That was his first field goal, by the way. Young at the line, completing the 3-point play. So Slingers quickly back at it, down by a point, 22-21. Josh Orbistondo, the fireball, guarded by Jun Lim. Here's PJ Ramos, backing down on John Fields. Ramos using his height and his will to get that hoop.
I tell you, Martin, the officials have to check that basketball. It looks like a tennis ball when Ramos is holding it. My goodness.
Too tall, too strong is PJ Ramos. And on the other end, Singapore Slingers turning the ball over. 24-21. That is the count here in the second. Ethan Alvano at point guard now, bringing the ball down for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. He's got Jaron Young on him. Lo Domingo.
Good pass.
Goes in. Ramos triple team. Rebound by Alexander.
Took 3 guys to stop that shot.
The X-Men now will set up the play here for Singapore. Alexander using that field screen. He stops, shoots, could not score. Ramos gets the board. Here's the outlet to Rosser. Oh, the jam! Brandon Rosser electrifying the crowd here in Caloocan.
With his second baseball pass assist in the game, Ramos. Oh, it's nice to have big hands. Gigantic hands.
Making those outlet passes look easy.
Right.
They're on the floor. Take a look at, as we were mentioning that, here's the replay. Brandon Rosser on the receiving end of that fast break play, throwing it down for 2 points. And substitution here. Ronaldo Balkman in early in the second quarter. Again, he has 2 personal fouls, 7:38 to go here in the period. Ray Parks also back in, checking in for Ethan Alvano. So 14 seconds to work with for Singapore. John Fields inside. Oh, denied by Ronaldo Balkman. Oh no! There's the inbound play. Smart play from Singapore, but Ronaldo Balkman says, nope. Not on my watch. 3 seconds to shoot for Singapore. 1 second left. Alexander.
Oh, they're going to call a foul.
So Lo Domingo will be called for the personal.
And it looks like they're going to stick with it. Usually the officials would check if it was before or after, but they seem to be sure with it before the shot clock expired. They didn't even mind to check.
And they're going to give the free throw here to Xavier Alexander for the trip to the free throw line for the X-Man. Alexander in his 4th season with the Singapore Slingers. A couple of finals appearances for him. Missing on the first.
What you like about him so far on the ball screen situations, Martin, even though his defender is going under the screen, he's not settling for the outside shot. He's eating the space up. He's getting his shots and getting to his sweet spots. He's just not making them. I think it's just a matter of time for him and Young to make those perimeter mid-range jumpers.
And Alexander could not convert on both free throws. Balkman poked away by Alexander. He will recover. Rosser
stepped out of bounds.
Again, stepped out of bounds here. That's the second time he's done it here in the second.
It's one of the disadvantages of having size 14 feet.
That's right.
Especially anytime you're on that sideline.
Covers a lot of real estate on the floor. Let's see.
Right there,
that again.
clearly.
So 26-21. Singapore on the attack again. Russell Lowe in for Coach Neil. And they will go to Lowe. Mid-range J.
Great block out by Bobby Ray on Young.
Urbistondo cross-court. Kalen for 3. Short for Chong Son. And ball will go the other way.
Kalen Chong Son coming into this game 1 for 4. Only 4 attempts in the first 3 games. He can shoot it from downtown, but he is more comfortable of putting the ball on the deck.
That's right.
And finishing inside.
He was actually more of a catch and shoot guy for
Kung Fu.
When he was playing with Chong Son Kung Fu last year.
Anytime you have a point guard like Tucker, who's a terrific playmaker, you gotta know how to shoot the ball. Stand still.
Josh Urbistondo kicking it out. Kalen hesitating to shoot it. He goes to the corner. Back to Urbistondo with 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Bobby Ray Parks crossing over. Parks stops, shoots, and scores. Ray Parks now with 9.
What a luxury for Coach Jimmy Alapag to have your third choice as a terrific scorer and shot maker in Bobby Ray.
And this is a foul at midcourt coming from June Lim. Biggest lead of the game so far for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, 28-21. And PJ Ramos quickly back in for Alab, replacing Brandon Rosser.
Rosser had some solid minutes in their last game. Played less than 10 minutes, had 5 points to come along with 2 rebounds, was able to score in his short time inside. Played less than 4 minutes.
That's right. So they called the unsportsmanlike foul here on June Lim as he was trying to stop Ray Parks at midcourt. So Parks will shoot the 2 free throws plus possession for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Stretching the lead to 8 points, 29-21, now at 9, 30-21. With about 6 minutes left in the first half.
And also the first player in double figures would still, halfway in the second quarter. But if you're Singapore with Alab being over the limit, you gotta get to the line as much as possible and take advantage.
PJ Ramos double teamed by Lowe and Fields. Parks catch and shoot, no good. Good save by Kelvin Lim. Alexander on the move against 3 guys. He puts it up and in off the glass.
That's a smart, good finish by Alexander, the X-Man, and a smart play by Bulkman just to let it go instead of, the potential third foul.
And that puts out the fire for Singapore. Kelvin Lim on Urbistondo. Oh, great steal from behind by Young. Fields
Numbers.
on the move. Young. Oh, that is deflected. Young will recover though. They've got a lot of time to work with here. Jaron Young attacks.
Oh, that's a tough fall.
And he will be fouled. He will head to the free throw line for 2 shots. Ray Parks will be called for the personal as we go to Sydney Crespo again for her report. Go ahead, Sydney.
Yes, Martin, moving to the other side of the court, positive environment is the reason for Alab Pilipinas' very good team chemistry, according to head coach Jimmy Alapag. And that same chemistry resulted in their prolific start here in ABL 9. And as per Coach Jimmy, this started not only in their practices, but also when they have lunch or dinner together as a team. Tonight against Singapore, Coach Jimmy needs his men to be able to adjust defensively, as the Singapore is known to be a very good defensive team. Now let's see if they can keep their win-loss record flawless tonight, gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Sydney. And that's what PJ Ramos and Ronaldo Balkman, that's what they bring to the table. They give good energy, especially at the practices. Very important, especially when leading. The young guys like Bobby Ray Parks, Ethan Alvano, Kalen Chongson. And of course, on their way to defend their championship here in the ABL 9. PJ Ramos, they go to Balkman at the post. Ronaldo goes back out to Urbistondo. Ramos for 3, shoots over Fields, no good. Chongson skying high for that one, tipped by Alexander. Fields all alone for the 2-handed throwdown. And a quick timeout called by Coach Jimmy Alapag. 8 points now for John Fields. Lead is down to 3 for Alab. Back here inside the Caloocan Sports Complex, even the kids enjoying the action. Of course, it's almost Christmas time, a couple of days away from Christmas. December 23, 2018, also the last game day of 2018 for the ABL. We will resume action on January 2. That's going to be in Malaysia. And the crowd enjoying the game so far. 30-27 lead for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. This is 6 straight points put up by the Singapore Slingers. And this was the latest bucket. John Fields on the break, stuffing that one home. And Alab Pilipinas will now have possession. Ramos for 3 again. This time he knocks it down.
For the people who are watching for the first time, especially Ramos, who's about 7'4". Yeah, he can shoot that. He made 4 3-pointers in his first game. 7 for 19 coming into this one. Yep, he's a shooter.
That's his second one, by the way. He's got 12 points right now. And Ethan Alvano will check in, replacing Josh Urbistondo for Alab. 3:59 remaining here in the first half. Singapore Slingers will have possession. They go to Russell Lowe. Alexander reading the defense here. Xavier stop shoots. He gets it back. Fresh 14 for Singapore. John Fields from mid-range. That drops in for John Fields.
If he can make that consistently all night, it will eventually force Ramos outside the paint and would allow him to attack at the rim.
Here's Alvano.
Nice.
Oh! saw the opening, attacked it right away on his way to the basket.
You have to take away the left. That's the second time tonight in the first half he was able to attack to his strong hand and finish.
Ethan Albano with now 4 points in the game. Young on the pull-up. Tried to bank it in, no good. Balkman with the board. 6 rebounds now for Ronaldo. They go to Ethan Albano here, who's got Kevin Lim on him.
Good pass.
They go to Kalen, who shoots. No good on the three-pointer. Alexander with a rebound. The X-Man gets it to John Fields. Again, shooting over Ramos. This time it's off. Battle for the rebound. It goes to Balkman. Ronaldo handling it. Albano for 3. No good. And a foul inside on that rebound play, Christian. And I believe that's going to be on Russell Lowe.
3 for 11 so far in the game. This was the high ball screen by Albano. Jaron Young was hesitant to help because I believe that was Bobby Ray in the corner, who's made a 3 already. But they have to take away that strong side rather of Albano, as he is a lefty. We saw him, Martin just missed a 3-pointer on the catch. He's more really of an off the ball or on the dribble rather 3-point shooter. He's more comfortable of making those kind of threes.
And here he is again. Oh! Dancing against Kelvin Lim. Could not make the shot though. Slingers on the move. Down by 6. Alexander from 15. Hit the front of the rim. Balkman in transition. Doesn't have the numbers. He goes all the way anyway. Ronaldo Balkman extending the lead to 8.
That's the luxury of having a Ronaldo Balkman getting the defensive rebound. Cookies!
Bobby Ray with a finish. Ray Parks finishing in transition.
And was probably fouled too.
That's right. On the challenge by Jaron Young. And a timeout here. 10-point lead. 39-29 for Alab Pilipinas. Back to the action. And San Miguel Alab Pilipinas enjoying their biggest lead off the game. It's now at 10 points, 39-29. This was the first fast break play completed by Balkman. Second one, the steal and the score for Bobby Ray Parks. Finishing at the rim, meeting Jaron Young on that fast break play. Parks with 13 points in the game, leading the way for Alab Pilipinas.
You know, Jaron Young, he's an excellent chase down blocker.
He's a high leaper.
Almost every game he has a highlight. You know, especially if somebody almost has a layup, suddenly he would appear. But a good job by Bobby Ray. You saw in the replay, Martin, looking over his shoulder and extending a little bit, trying to, extend that layup to the left side a little bit, just to have a slight advantage and avoid the block.
So here's Xavier. He will go to Ang Han Bin, who's got the smaller Albano on him. Han Bin gets it to Alexander. 7 seconds to shoot for Singapore. Xavier shoots over Domingo. Great defense for Alab. Delvin Go gets the offensive rebound. Ripped away though by Alab. Albano gets it. Alexander gets it back for Singapore. Alexander, he was looking for the throwdown over PJ Ramos.
And Ramos said, I'm not going to have that tonight. He made sure. That's probably the first time he got off his feet on a challenge defensively.
Right. Look at his play. The save by Albano to the wrong man. Alexander getting it. And Xavier went for the throwdown. But Ramos was there to prevent it. Alexander still struggling from the free throw line.
You know, Alab having a 10-point lead, but it feels much closer. You know, Singapore, particularly Alexander and Jaron Young, as a combined 4 for 18. They has. I think it's just a matter of time for them to make their shots, but they keep struggling like this. They don't have a chance.
And Xavier Alexander is now 1 out of 5 from the free throw line. 10 is the lead for Alab Pilipinas. Ronaldo on the step back J. Drops it in. And we got a foul right after.
Off the ball by Domingo on Alexander. I think it's going to be against Domingo.
And players exchanging words here. Alexander and Lo Domingo. This was a step back jumper, Christian, by Ronaldo Balkman. Able to drain it.
Right.
Oh, but that was PJ Ramos.
PJ Ramos, rather. Yeah, correct myself.
Pushing Xavier Alexander there. Got a timeout on the floor here. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas up by 12, their biggest of the game. Back to the coverage here inside the Caloocan Sports Complex. Go ahead, hug it out. Hug cam here on SNA.
It's Christmas.
Christmas, man, that's right.
Christmas hug. Come on.
Give some love. We're a couple of days away from Christmas. Guy saying, nope, not happening. That is the hug cam. One of the things we added here in the coverage of the ABL. 41-29, a minute and 9 seconds remaining here in the first half. And again, Alab Pilipinas still rolling here in the second frame, outscoring Singapore 19-11 so far to create this advantage, Christian.
And failing to take advantage of San Miguel being over the limit early. Just getting to the line twice in that 5-minute mark when San Miguel was in penalty.
Here's the cross-court pass. Lo Domingo puts it on the floor. Able to get to the paint, could not make the shot. Balkman with the rebound, no good. Parks gets it back. Couple of opportunities for Alab. Balkman denied by Alexander one more time. And the third time is the charm for Ronaldo Balkman.
That was 6 extra opportunities in just one possession offensively for Alab. Young still continues to struggle.
And Alab with a 14-point lead now. Singapore getting it back. Alexander. They go to John Fields, baseline J. That's good.
Oh. Ramos was begging Fields to take that shot. He was about 20 feet away from him.
John Fields, the only guy in double figures for Singapore at 12 points. Ethan Alvano double teamed up on top here. He goes to Ray Parks. Oh, denied by Fields. Denying that buzzer-beating basket from Lawrence Domingo is John Fields. So after 2 quarters of play here in the Philippines, it is 43-31, a 12-point lead for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. At halftime, you see here the highlights of the second frame. Bobby Ray Parks coming alive, leading the way for Alab with 13 big points. Difficult shot there. John Fields, again, trying to keep Singapore in it with 12 points in the first half. But Ronaldo Balkman, although he kept battling with that foul trouble, struggled early in the game, started to heat up towards the end of that second frame. Again, at the half, 43-31 for the home squad. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas will be back for halftime stats and analysis of this game.